guys, hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about maintaining an axe, or honestly any other tool with a wooden handle, whether that be an adze or a hammer or anything. So I'll give you a couple examples of a properly maintained tool, and then we'll explain why we do these specific things. So here's my forging hammer. You might be able to see a little bit of a sheen on it. The handle's very smooth, no cracking. And this handle will last a very long time with proper maintenance. And my Hiltiforce axe, same thing. No cracking. All the wood looks healthy. It's got this beautiful leather sheath that my younger brother actually made for me. Yeah, very nice. Anyways. Take a look at the blade. It's razor sharp. You can easily shave with it. See if I can show you. Anyways, now I'm going to show you how to maintain your tools so they last a very long time and are more effective. A dull tool is useless. And we are going to be working on this cat's axe. It's my younger brother's axe. We just made a handle for it. A little bit blocky there, but other than that, it's pretty solid. The handle is a little bit dry though. It was kiln dried wood. It's actually ash. It's a pretty good handle, but it needs oiled pretty bad. One other thing I'm going to point out: if you're going to choose an axe or even a handle, one thing you're going to want to look at is the grain orientation of the handle. We burnt it so you can see these growth rings very easily. If they're on the front, the handle is going to be a lot weaker. You want long grains. You want to see a grain that runs from one end of the axe all the way to the other. And the ideal orientation is for the growth rings to be on the side. If you look on the end, these are almost parallel. Excuse me, so that's good. Anything at a 45 degree or better is about good. If you get anything that looks like that, avoid it and find a different one. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take care of this sheath. It's a real leather sheath, and if you let them sit, they'll dry rot, they'll just dry out. You can get mildew in them. You want to keep them clean and well maintained. So what we're going to do, you want some kind of a leather preserver. Come over here. What I have here is snowproof. It's a beeswax leather preserver and waterproofing agent. You can put it on a space heater. You can put it in front of a wood stove or a hair dryer, and just get this let this get nice and warm. And that will let these oils that we're going to put onto it to soak in and to just all around preserve the leather and keep it supple and fresh. And it'll last a very long time if you do this. You might want to do this once a year or twice a year, depending on how much you use it. When you get a fresh piece of leather, you might want to do it a couple times until it stops soaking it up right away. Then you're about right. Then you can do it once a year and it'll last a very long time. Now we're just going to get a little bit on there. It doesn't need a whole lot because this is already fairly well maintained. This is pretty warm. Now we're just going to wipe it on the surface here. Both sides, on the ends. The end grain especially will soak it up very quickly. And you want to get the insides as well. Get the strap. You can see we've pretty much got it all over it. Now we're just going to set this on the heater for a bit and just let it soak in. And you can leave it there for 5 minutes if you want. I wouldn't leave it there too much longer or it'll start to dry out and can actually hurt the leather if you overheat it. So just let it get nice and warm, let it soak everything in, and we'll move on to the handle. So the thing with the handles is you use them quite a bit, and if you get any little bit of cracking or checking, it'll hurt your hand and you can get splinters. And when you get a piece of wood that's very dry, it's not nearly as springy. And so, especially with an impact tool like an axe, that can cause it to crack and that'll break it eventually. So what you want, just some boiled linseed oil. You can get this at most hardware stores. I got this one at Canadian Tire for about 20 bucks. Don't need a whole lot. Just get a little bit on your hand. You can put it on a rag. And just spread it all around on the ends there without dripping too much if you can. The end grain, like I said, is like the wood fiber is like a whole bunch of little straws. So the ends will suck up moisture and oil before the sides will. Make sure you get the whole thing all the way up here into the base of the axe head and at the top here. If you don't maintain these handles and oil them properly, the heads will shrink, or the axe handle will shrink and the heads will get loose over time. So now we'll just let that sit there for a minute, let it soak in, and then we'll wipe it off and we're good to go. The old timers had a saying about oiling their tools. With a fresh handle, you'll do it once a day for a week, once a week for a month, once a month for a year, and after that yearly. And a single handle could last you 10, 15, 20 years, depending on how you use it, obviously. Now, I'm not going to let this one sit super long. We'll just wipe it off and we'll move on to maintaining the edge. Because a dull axe or a dull knife is useless because its only purpose is to cut, and if it's dull, it's not going to be cutting very well. Here we have just a very basic stone. This came from a tri-stone kit, and then just the epoxy broke and it came out of its little cradle. So now we can use it as just a standalone. Put some water on there. This is a water stone. Come up to the edge and move in circular motions. You don't want to go back and forth. You'll cut your hand that way. So just keep it away from your hand. Just go back and forth. This one's already pretty sharp. It doesn't really need anything. Go back and forth until you get a little bit of a burr on the other side. You'll be able to feel it with your fingernail. Flip it over and then do the other side. And once you're done that, just do a couple back and forth strokes, one per side, until you get that burr mostly gone. And then we'll move on to a strop, a leather strop. Just get a little bit of polishing compound. You don't have to buy stropping compound. Just white Jeweler's Rouge is all you really need. Set this out of the way. And you stroke backwards. I would do 10 to 15 times per side until you get a nice little polish on there. Got a little bit of a mirror polish. I'm not sure how well you can see that. But this is a very, very sharp axe, and it'll be a very effective tool. Pretty soon I'm going to put out a video on how to do a handle wrap to protect it from overstrikes, and you also have, this is about 9 feet of paracord for if you need it in a survival situation or what have you. It's a pretty simple thing to do, and your tools will last a very long time if you do this. Just maintain them, take care of them, you treat them well, and they'll treat you well. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and we'll catch you next time.